Video we'll be talking about chemical equations. So you will learn what a chemical equation is, what coefficients are and how to use them, and the basics of balancing chemical equations. So as a review, in a chemical reaction, one or more substances are changed into one or more new substances. A chemical reaction can be explained in pictures, in words, or as a chemical equation. All three of these things are saying the same thing. They're saying methanol reacts with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Equation, the substances on the left side of the arrow are the reactants. These are the starting materials that react together to form something new. They are always going to be found on the left side of the arrow. The substances on the right side of the arrow are the products. These are the new things that the reactants produce in the chemical reaction. They are always going to be found on the right side of the arrow. So let's practice. What are the reactants in this chemical reaction? We have copper 2 chloride reacting with water to produce copper 2 oxide and hydrochloric acid. If you said the copper 2 chloride and the water, you are correct. Those are the reactants. They are on the left side of the arrow. What are the products in this chemical equation? So we have some nitric acid reacting with potassium hydroxide to produce potassium nitrate and water. So what are the products? That's right, the products are the potassium nitrate and the water. They are on the right side of the arrow. They are what is produced in this chemical reaction. All right, what are the reactants in this chemical reaction? We have magnesium carbonate decomposing into magnesium oxide and carbon dioxide. So what are the reactants? That's right, the reactants are just the magnesium carbonate. Sometimes you only have one reactant or one product in a chemical equation. All right, last one, what are the products in this chemical equation? We have sodium reacting with chlorine to produce sodium chloride or table salt. That's right, the product is the sodium chloride. Well done. Notice some numbers in the chemical equations. The large numbers in front of the chemical formulas are called coefficients. Here's a coefficient and here's a coefficient. As a reminder, those little numbers, those are called subscripts. Coefficients double, triple, or quadruple whatever comes after them. So if we saw something that looked like this, 2H2O, that just means that there are two water molecules. When we count atoms, we multiply the subscripts by the coefficient, which is the big number, to get the total number of each kind of atom. So, for example, remember, 2H2O, that means two water molecules. Inside a water molecule, we have hydrogen atoms, and we have oxygen atoms. If we were counting up the total number of hydrogen atoms in two molecules of water, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hydrogen atoms. But you're not always going to have a picture of the molecule. So here's how you do it. You take the subscript times the coefficient. 2 times 2, which gives us 4. We can do the same thing for the oxygen atoms. We have 1, 2. We take our imaginary number 1 over here times 2, and that gives us 2 oxygen atoms. Let's practice with this a little bit. How many are there of each kind of atom in this compound? 2NaCl. Well, first, we're going to list the kinds of atoms. We have sodium atoms and we have chlorine atoms. Then we're going to take the subscript times the coefficient. So remember, if there's nothing there, you just pretend there is a 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 sodium atoms, 2 chlorine atoms. All right, here we have 2 carbon dioxide, 2 CO2. So first we'll list the kinds of atoms. We have carbon atoms and we have oxygen atoms. We'll take the subscript times the coefficient. 1 times 2 is 2. And for the oxygen, it has a subscript of 2. So we'll take 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 carbon atoms and 4 oxygen atoms. All right, how many are there of each kind of atom in this compound? First, we'll list the kinds of atoms, hydrogen and sulfur. S is for sulfur. We'll take the subscript times the coefficient. 2 times 3 is 6. And 1 times 3 is 3. All right, final example. How many are there of each kind of atom in this compound? First, we will list the atoms, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. We'll take the subscript times the coefficient. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. And the subscript for oxygen is 3. We'll take 3 times 3 is 9. So why do we care about this? Why are we talking about coefficients? Well, coefficients allow us to balance chemical equations. Balanced chemical equations have the same number and type of atoms on both sides of the arrow. So if we look at this equation, we can see 1 carbon atom here and 1 carbon atom here. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogen atoms and 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogen atoms. Same thing for the oxygen. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 in the reactants and 1, 2, 3, 4 in the products. This is a balanced chemical equation because it has the same number and type of atoms on both sides of the arrow. This is important for conservation of mass or conservation of matter, which we'll talk more about later. So here's how we balance a chemical equation. First, we split the unbalanced chemical equation in half, and I do that just by drawing a line. Then we're going to list the types of atoms found on both sides of the chemical equation. So in the reactants, we have hydrogen and we have oxygen, and we have the same thing in the products. Remember, you should have the same kinds of atoms on both sides of the chemical equation. The next thing we're going to do is count up the number of atoms of each type of atom on both sides of the chemical equation. So in the reactants, we have 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. In the products, we have 2 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. So it looks like our hydrogen are balanced, but our oxygen are not. So we are going to change or add coefficients to balance the number of each kind of atom. And we'll do that by putting a 2 in front of this water molecule here, in front of the chemical formula for water. We're going to add the coefficient 2. So now we have to recount our atoms. So instead of having 2 hydrogen, we have 2 times 2, 4. And instead of having 1 oxygen, we have 1 times 2, which is 2. Sometimes you have to unbalance things temporarily to get everything to work. So don't panic, because we can fix what we just did on the product side by adding a 2 in front of the hydrogen. So now, instead of 2 hydrogen in the products, we have 2 times 2, we have 4. Our hydrogen are balanced and our oxygen are balanced. This is a balanced chemical equation. All right, let's do one more for practice. So here we have some magnesium reacting with oxygen to produce magnesium oxide. First, we're going to split the equation in half. Then we're going to list the atoms that we have in the products and in the reactants. So we have magnesium and oxygen in the reactants. Same thing in the products, magnesium and oxygen. Now we're going to count up the number of magnesium and oxygen in the reactants. So we have 1 magnesium in the reactants and 2 oxygen in the reactants. Repeat that for the products, which would be 1 and 1. So this is not balanced. Even though the magnesium are balanced, the oxygen are not. So we have to add some coefficients. We'll put a 2 in front of the magnesium oxide in the products, and that will temporarily unbalance our magnesium, giving us 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen. But no worries, we can put a 2 in the reactants. And now our equation is balanced because we have the same number and same type of atoms on both sides of the arrow. So balancing chemical equations can be difficult, and the only way to get better at it is to practice. I wanted to make sure that I said that because we made it seem kind of simple in the video, but it can be difficult. So in this video, you learned what a chemical equation is, what coefficients are and how to use them, and the basics of balancing chemical equations. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.